you are taking the decisions that an adult would ordinarily take, but you're a young person. So this is probably not the first time it's happening in the history of mankind to have young people that have been placed in the labor market at early ages of their lives. But it's quite interesting that our generation is the first generation that has agreed all together to be young entrepreneurs and do our own thing. Yeah. At the same time, apart from the fact that we all agreed not to iron our clothes too. I mean, see, it's what a time to be alive, honestly. I wake up every morning feeling so excited because I listen to myself. I listen to younger me. I trusted myself because one thing I noticed is if our parents, as African parents, if they don't train their children to have independent minds, they wouldn't grow to make decisions for themselves and to keep them trapped in. But that is one of the reasons why I also appreciate my parents. They were able to let me go and make my decisions. Because of course, I started my career when I was 16. Oh my God, I have been talking. I have not even properly introduced myself.
I'll just crop out this segment as pre the main podcast. Because I like everything you've been saying.
Oh my God, I was just going on and on and on. Someone has to stop me at this point.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. Generally, I'm just. Ooh, yes, we are. I like the vibe, honestly. Red nails they're just a vibe, honestly.
Yes, I've had red nails all through the year. People said, "Oh, why are your nails red?" I said it's beautiful. I've been painting my nails red since the start of 2025.
Wow, you are really committed to the cause.
I'm committed. I think I bought up to maybe 6 bottles of red nail polish this year.
Are you serious?
Yes, because as soon as it goes up, I just paint them again. Because at that time, my nails grow quickly, so I don't really like fixing them. So I just paint them, and I've had red.
So those are your natural nails?
Yes.
Wow. Wow. See, whenever I see a natural girlie with nails, I try to encourage her, keep going. You are doing this for us. Because my nails are fine, but they break. So I keep hiding them under
the acrylic
false nails. But I'm telling you, but it's just so I love being a girl. I love being a girl.
All right. We've already started, but let me just properly introduce you.
Okay.
All right. Hi everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Youth Have a Voice podcast season 2. My name is Feolami Awe-Joseph. I am the host of this podcast. And today I am joined with a beautiful person. Her name is Christianah Madu. And I am so excited to have Christianah here with me. I met Christianah last year at the 25 Under 25 Awards. And we've been in touch since then. And I'm so excited for you guys to know the amazing work she does. Because she's a beautiful person, no, but this beautiful person you're seeing here, you will not know that she really gets dirty when it comes to the work she's doing. So I'm just going to let Christianah to introduce herself to you guys so you can learn more about her and the work she does.
Okay. Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Christianah Madu. I'm a 23-year-old founder of a solar company, and anytime I say that out loud, it sparks this hint of fear in my heart that how have I been able to do this for 4 years now? I started this business when I was in my second year in uni. I wouldn't even say uni, I was in a polytechnic. And why did I find myself in a polytechnic? Doing computer engineering when at the beginning of my lifetime, I always thought I was going to be a medical doctor. I was always reading and doing everything biology related. Oh my God, I'm going to be a medical doctor because my parents are medical personnel. But how did I find myself studying computer engineering in a polytechnic, considering registering a business in solar technology? Well, that is because there was a turning point in my life when I was 16 that changed my perspective to everything. I came into a summer boot camp and I got a 2 weeks intensive training on solar technology and ICT and other life changing skills. But something stood out to me, which was solar technology. The fact that I could do it. You mean I can bring a charge controller, an inverter, a battery, and then a solar panel, and then boom, power. Because you know, when there is lack, you always seek to fill that hole. You understand? We all try to fill holes in our lives. We all try to seek out lack and fill it. Oh, I want abundance in health. By the time you are so healthy, you want abundance in money. We all need abundance in something. I grew up in a community that lacked electricity. Oh my God. And for a child that loved cartoons, I was born in the Tom and Jerry era. What do you mean I can't watch Tom and Jerry because NEPA has taken the lights? I could not just fathom it. What do you mean I have to wait all day till night to just get a hint of 1 hour or 2 hours of the show I love to watch because we are in a society that has been left in the dark, abandoned. I couldn't take it. But at 16, you mean I can put all these things together and get power and nobody will charge me for it? Like for free. Oh, please sign me up. That was how I got into solar technology. And since then, it's been up, 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 up. Yeah, it's been 3 years, more than 3 years. We'll be turning four in a few months. I finished school with computer engineering. Yeah, and I'm just at a turning point in my life right now where I'm taking bolder and bolder steps. Yeah, that is who I am.
Thank you so much, Christiana. I love your energy. Like, I think you're probably one of the liveliest guests I've had this season. I've had a couple of lively guests, but your energy is just there. It's just there. It's just there. Thank you
Thank
so much for
you, thank
sharing
you.
about yourself. And congratulations. I know you mentioned that you're almost done with your uni and you're about to graduate. So congrats on that. And I know
Thank
your
you.
organization is called Primevolts Solar. You've already shared
Yeah.
about the background why you started, and something really said that really resonated with me was talking about how when we were younger, what to watch cartoon. I think the worst part was when it used to rain when we were small, and once it rains, DSTV. The moment it rains, they're taking lights. Then you'll be watching something on DSTV. Once you're done watching that thing on DSTV, it'll take like 20 minutes for the thing to boot again. Once the light even comes back, if it
Yes.
comes back. If it now doesn't come back,
And then you miss the most interesting parts.
yes, and
Oh,
then there was nothing like recording it. So once you have missed it, you have missed it. Either you have to wait for another day for the episode to come back. When I was younger, there was even a time I had missed an episode. They are taking lights, and that episode I couldn't watch it again. They now brought back the episode again. Guess what? That same part I missed went off once the electricity went off. It was the funny.
coincidences will make you feel like something is wrong with you.
It was it was the funniest thing ever. The funniest thing ever. But I think that's why your project is really important. And I think that's why the work you do really makes a lot of sense. So tell us about Primevolts Solar. How did it start? What's the main work you do? Why does it exist?
Okay, so starting with the fact that I was not a big fan of, I don't know if I can say I was a big fan or I was not a big fan, but I was always getting in the midst of electricity and getting myself shocked as a child. I was always getting zapped here and there. Even while I was talking with my grandma, I was just stretching my hand and I got zapped by our electric cooker. Or when I tried to cook with that particular electric cooker, I got zapped again. Or the most funniest coincidences was when I went to like get food from the pot and then thunder. It was raining, and then there was lightning, and I got zapped. Is that bad? There's something about but I enjoy the concept of power generation. So by the time I got exposed to solar technology, I saw it as a thing that I could work with. I mean, it's fun. I'm the techie type of person. I grew up with technology. So, oh, you mean I can do this and just keep myself busy? Of course. So I was under the Bemore Empowered Girls Foundation, learning, and then I took on internship opportunities, and then I just one day started to put my story out there because I eventually had a cell phone and I could document my journey. Thankfully, because it's such an amazing opportunity to be able to document your journey, because you will get it as a reminder. You see it as a reminder the more you go forward. So one day, as I kept posting and posting and posting, my mentor asked me to register my business. She said, go and register your business, not go and register a business or go and start a business. Meaning that I have been posting myself, finding customers, connecting customers with payment plans that could work for them. There's one particular neighbor of mine that I used to buy groceries when I come back from work from. And I saw that she was always struggling with all those lamps that um people used to sell in the market, all those lamps that are just conventional. There's not really any good side to it because it just gets slow on time. You buy it this week, it's dead next week, and then it just spoils within a month. I saw her struggling, always trying to see how much she used to give us as change. And then I told her, ma'am, I know it might be expensive, but there is a payment plan. I can connect you to this. And then I did it. And that was officially my first customer. Although I didn't get paid that much, I got like 5,000 naira. But I felt so good. I'm like, mine? Oh, stop. I did the installation myself. I climbed to the rooftop. I installed the solar panel. I came into the shop. I did the wiring all by myself. I have the pictures and I'm so proud of myself because I've come far from them. So when my mentor asked me, go and register your business, I had already been doing the business low key, but I had not registered it. So this is the importance of having mentors. So they told me to take that step, something that I wouldn't really tell myself because I felt like entrepreneurship is for older people. And what am I doing with entrepreneurship? But then I was doing the business. Are you not seeing how it feels? Once older people start to let younger ones know that you can do things officially. You can actually have a life outside school, outside education, outside those period of times of study. You can actually do what you love to do, and you can actually make money and make decisions for yourself. Then you open up their minds to possibilities that, trust me, are endless, especially in 2025. But then my mentor telling me to register my business opened my mind, telling me, why haven't you thought about this? I mean, I left home when I was 18 to go and learn as an intern in Ibadan, far from home. I could tell myself to make decisions like that. But when it comes to entrepreneurship and registering the business, it felt like a next level decision. And I almost thought I wasn't ready until I was like 1 year plus into the business and saw that I am surviving. I am surviving and I'm making impact. So looking at myself then and now with Primevolts, it reminds me that things that I used to look at when I was younger and feel like they're, oh my God, it's so big, it's such an adult thing to do, are just basically things that you can work into the mind of kids from when they were younger, and it wouldn't be a big deal. So yeah, I've been with Primevolts. I've been doing Primevolts. I call her Primey because she's my baby. I know for sure I'll have other ventures, but with Primevolts, I have dedicated over 7 years of my life. So private being 3 years is more than that. It's up to 7 years now because of the soul behind private. And with my business, I target underserved communities because this is where it's needed. Why is solar energy expensive? It is not sustainable. It is not a sustainable energy if it's expensive. So I try to drive the narrative behind the sustainability of solar energy with Primevolts. That's why I target rural communities. And yeah, with this business, we've created over 20 jobs, distributed over 150 solar home systems to underserved communities. And yeah, we partner with organizations to also open the minds of young women like myself. Thank you
Wow,
very
wow, wow,
much.
wow, wow. I think we can close the entire podcast now. You said everything, but I'm just joking. Thank you so much, Christiana. The work you do, I don't even have the mind to even do this thing that you're doing. If I was to be very honest with you, I don't think I have that mindset at all. I think that you're taking huge risks that even people in our generation may not even be taking. And I just think you're genuinely such a cool person. Because see, I promise you, if you go to our Instagram page, you'll see her very pretty babe. You'll see her very well dressed. But when she goes on the field, like a completely different person, like a completely different person. And I just think that that duality of being a girl, because yeah, I think you're a really girly girl, and at the same time, you're really just good in this solar energy work that you do. And I think something you mentioned that solar energy isn't meant to be expensive. I would really like to know more about that because I know that there are lots of solar companies that exist and they are quite expensive. So, if you were to explain to a layman how the process of creating solar energy is, how would you do that? Because a lot of people think solar energy and they just think, ah, this thing is just for rich people, it's something that I cannot even afford to have or afford to venture into. So, would you like to share more about how exactly is it created? How affordable is it, and are we being lied to that is a very expensive thing that people can't get into?
Okay, for one, I think we all understand why things are expensive in the country because of the imports. Of course, painfully, Nigeria has not had an official manufacturing industry for solar panels. So they basically assemble. There is one in country now, but they assemble. So there is no manufacturing, and we have silicon. Solar panels are made of silicon, by the way. But the issue is in a solar energy system, I'm about to go technical, so please bring out your pens in case you get this question again. A solar energy system is made up of four major components: panel, battery, charge controller, and inverter. The function of the panel is to convert sunlight to electricity. The function of the battery is to store electricity, right? Like our phones. The function of the charge controller is to control the electricity coming from the solar panel. It's the regulator, back and forth, because electricity flows, it will flow. So if there's no charge controller, it will flow into the battery and flow out of the battery. So that's why we have the charge controller. And then lastly, the inverter is the one that converts the electricity to what we can use in our house. The solar panel and battery combination will give you direct currents. But what we use majorly in our homes are alternative current um, appliances. So that is why we have the inverter. The main reason why solar energy systems are expensive at the moment is because batteries they skyrocketed in 2021. A battery that was literally about 120,000 naira as of January 2021. By January 2023, it was about 200,000 naira plus. Right now, it's going to 300, 400. So imagine you need a solar energy system and then you need about four batteries to power the appliances in your house. Can you do that calculation already? And that is just on battery. And then for the panels, you need like twice the size of the battery. If you're doing four batteries, let's say you are using 500 watts. You need at least 10. At least if you are making a mistake, you need at least 10 pieces. And panels alone, you can get the price of, I think, about 100,000 naira. So before you get a standard solar energy system that is going to power your house, your freezer, your TV, your inverter AC. Remember, I said inverter AC, not just ordinary AC. Your power home system. Before you are done, you'd be seeing 4 million, 5 million naira. What average Nigerian has 4 million or 5 million naira to just put away just to power their appliances, power their homes, and power their opportunities they can derive while comfort of their home? My mother lost her business due to this same case. She used to run a yogurt business, and it was the best feeling ever. It gave her freedom. We cannot overemphasize how much freedom financial independence gives to women. It makes you free, it makes you strong, it makes you smart. My mom had a business that created jobs for families. People would come, take products. She would even give them on payment plans. They come, take products, sell, and then come and give her. It was going well. But then remember, it's an underserved community. So whatever they give us, we can't even complain. We can't even if we complain, no one is going to really take us seriously. That place, I beg. It wasn't until I turned 18 that I realized there was something called a metering system. So you can actually pay to have electricity at your own wish. Oh, we will have lights from this time to this time, and you're sure. The thing is, you wouldn't realize how much of a blessing or say of an opportunity that is until you've lived it. And guess what? I grew up to it. My mom losing her business it just stopped an arm of thing that I was looking at. And then I'm like growing older and then seeing how life is turning out. And then you see that even if there's a solution, it's so expensive still. So what are we doing? SDG 7 is affordable and clean energy. There's a reason why it's affordable and clean energy. Then why is it expensive for us? So we are looking at all these things. And that is the reason why there has to be reforms, opportunities for businesses to access financing to help communities like this thrive with energy. Because trust me, Nigerians don't understand what 24 hours of electricity will do to you. And it sounds funny. It sounds like lights. Because, Aba now has good electricity supply. The rest of Nigerians are like, good for them, good for them. What would they do? They'll start freezing their water. Nigerians started sharing off the bottle of water in their fridge, so frozen. And then I'm looking, people are talking down on the fact that, hey, what happened to electricity? Must you have 24 hours of power? If I catch you tweeting that thing, and I'm talking to this person, I don't know if this person will ever come across this video or you've ever had that thought. If I catch you and I will have serious issues. Because what do you mean it is only water that they will be freezing? I have been to a community that was second to never making it to limelight. Because trust me, not one grid pole is installed there. It's a riverine community. And the only thing they work with is petrol alternatives, that is generators. Children in that community don't know electricity. They don't have relationship with it. They don't have relationship on how to use electricity to do things. You would give them a torchlight and money and they would choose that torchlight because it means something. There is no light bulb. But then, by the time I was done, because it was a mini grid volunteering opportunity, by the time I left that community after we were done, I went there about 3 weeks ago. And then I could not recognize it anymore. Businesses have opened, more businesses, more fueling stations around. And this community is built on top of water. So you know that this ecosystem is blooming already because of power, and you're telling me it's pure water that we use it for. Oh, stop it. Stop it. We need to understand that we don't have to swim in lack. We are lacking electricity in this country, and let nobody justify it. Let's all put our hands together to make it work. So if electricity is supposed to be sustainable, then let's make solar energy affordable to the people. That is what I am saying.
All right. So you said a lot right now. You've spoken about the lack of awareness, which I think is actually a clear problem that a lot of people don't even understand when it comes to the components of electricity. A lot of people are not educated on that. You've also spoken about
Hmm.
how costly it can be to people. And I think another thing you spoke about, which I find really important, is the importance of women empowerment when it comes to even having financial literacy and being financially smart. And you work in what is usually would be referred to as a male dominated field. And I know even beyond you working towards providing electricity to underserved communities, you also teach young girls on how to also do the same and how they can even bring power into their communities. Would you like to share your journey on how that has been? And also, how has it been for you being a woman in what is referred to as a male dominated industry?
Okay. For the last part, I feel like a princess. Because, of course, I remember earlier you said I'm a girly girl, and at the same time, I can get dirty. Because that is how it's supposed to be. Me being in a male dominated industry should not cancel the fact that I love to be beautiful. Like I said earlier, I love being a girl. You understand? And that is what a lot of women do not realize. They think since it's a male dominated industry, it is for the male only. No, and this is not to blame them. It's to look at the upbringing of most of them. It's almost like since it's a male dominated industry, we shouldn't really talk about it. Let's just focus on something else. No. Do you know that women are at the receiving end of energy poverty? Have you ever been in the kitchen and you're working and then you're cooking and then they just take lights? They just take the power supply, it just goes off, and then you're just in the dark with your knife, with an onion in your hand, and you were crying with that onion. And then you don't have to figure out how to go and get lights. Now let's squeeze it down. We all know women take take on most of the domestic chores in the house. And as small as you think you're doing, there are some women doing a lot more harder things domestically all over Africa, all over the world. But let's look at Africa. Let's look at Nigeria first. You see your neighbor, she's cooking at the backyard, she's cooking with firewood. You see, she's always doing something in the house. Don't you think she needs good access for that? Clean cooking, power supply, no, to make life easier, to make doing the domestic chores easier. Because let's agree, women take on most of the domestic chores in the house. And then if you think you can share chores with your sibling as a modern woman, there are some families that the woman is to do everything. So how are we taking care of those women? How are we ensuring that those women have the right opportunity and options to access electricity? Now, that is on one side of women being the receiving at the receiving end. If we are at the receiving end, are we not supposed to be on the table of discussion? How are we going to be on the table of discussion if we are not educated that we belong on the table? I have trained over 100 girls. And then I noticed that there's something about me that catches their eye just on the first day. For example, this was a crazy one for me. I went for a program in Delta State. It was an all-girls school. I was just sitting, waiting outside with the team, and then as they were coming into the hall, someone look at me, smile at me, great, look at me, smile, great, or anyway. But when they called me to the stage to speak to them, the girls were clapping and hooing for me, like they know me from somewhere. And then I realized that girls have curious minds. They want to see who is this lady that is so outspoken. Oh my God, I want to be so outspoken. Every girl wants to be outspoken, but we are not realizing that it needs to start from the base family. If your daughter does not know that, oh, it's a male dominated industry, and so I will be there too, she will not have the mindset to do many other things. And at the end of the day, you wouldn't see any woman on the decision table to discuss on how electricity should be made affordable for women, on how all these policies should be gender inclusive. She will not be there. And trust me, she will be forgotten, just like she has been forgotten in the last thousands of years that the female gender has existed. Because you can't tell me now that we are the best at putting women in the middle of everything. Till today, we are still fighting. We're still fighting against rape. We're still fighting against harassment. We're still fighting against policies that don't do women good. We're still hearing from the Taliban and what they are doing to women. We are still fighting for women to exist peacefully till today. And you mean to tell me now that if I give birth to a daughter today, I wouldn't ingrain in her soul the seed that she belongs on every table of discussion that affects her life and affects her generations to come. You see, that is what we have mentorship platforms for. And I truly appreciate the fact that I started with a mentorship platform. I didn't start on my own. I walked into mentorship. I saw how it was, and I wasn't left alone after that mentorship. Bemore Empowered Foundation has been mentoring me for 7 years now. So each year I turn a new career. It's the amount of years I've been a mentor under Bemore. And recently I was awarded a prize award in one of the most prestigious awards for young entrepreneurs in Africa, the Anzisha Prize in South Africa earlier this year. And that made me realize that girls will win once they set their mind to something. Because from the moment I set my eyes on that prize, I said, I will win you. And I won it. But how is this going to be possible if the mind of the girl is small? If her mind was not open in the beginning. I used to read a lot. That is also one of the ways girls can open their minds. Read, think big, think out of the box. You want to be an astronaut, read about it. Oh, you want to go into French, take some time and see if it's something you can do. I found myself trying a lot of things. Mind you, Primevolts is not my first business. It's not my first business, but it's my first official business. I started a business with my sister in primary school. We used to make coconut cakes and sell to our classmates. We buy coconut cakes for 100 naira. And then what we sell at the end of the day is we make 1,000 naira. So we get 100% profit. Are you seeing? But if you put everything together, it shows that I have tried several things in my life, and my parents have given me the opportunity to try. Meaning that if our parents, if we as the generation now, the new adults, have children in coming years, we need to ingrain in their minds that they can think big. And that is why when I come across a young girl, I try to tell her that you don't have oh till you're 20, you have a whole lifetime to know who you are. And you can start now by just blocking your ears off of what other people say about you. Read, take on a new hobby, open your minds, because to be honest, mentorship will not work if the heart of the girl is not open. You understand? So now, starting with Primevolts, it was made easier because I had mentorship. So I believe women should access mentorship very easily. It shouldn't be something they have to think about. Oh, okay, I'll be I want to start this. Oh, I'll be needing to go this way. And then it makes it so stressful and so out of reach. Yeah, so that is what I try to work with my business. Yeah, Primevolts is not just about making electricity accessible. It's about bringing development to rural communities. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Christiana. You've said so many
Yeah.
things that I deeply resonate with. Um, One thing you really said that is important is that I think parents have a huge role to play in the development of children, especially the girl child. You've spoken about so many scenarios about how girls need to be empowered better, and I completely agree. I mean, you mentioned that in so many communities today, women are still seen as below the other gender, and they are not seen as great. But then when women begin to think bigger, when they are given the ability to dream bigger, I know that the dreams that they have actually can get them to wherever they want to be, regardless of whatever they want to do. I think that's something that is really, really important. And I think another reason why the work you do is so important, because you're actually teaching and you're imbibing so many values into girls and just letting them know that, you know what, I have done it, you can do it too, which is something I
Yeah.
find really, really inspiring. And I think generally for us, because I think about it actually, that we're actually so close to becoming the next parents, which a lot of people don't even realize. It's way closer than we think. I think in the next 5 to 10 years, most of Gen Z would be parents themselves. So I think
Exactly.
it's also important for us as young people, because I know older people also listen to this podcast. So if you're an older person and you still have younger children under you, try to encourage them. And I think one thing that I also think has really helped you is having parental support. Parents can actually make or break a child, and I think that having the right parents who can actually support the dreams and the aspirations you have is really important. So I think from what you've said, for any older person who's listening to this, if you know a younger person, give them the ability to leverage on their skills and their dreams and try to push them to as far as they can get. And then for the Gen Zs or any young person, even millennials who are listening to this, if you have a young child, or if maybe you're someone that maybe is about to become a parent, just try to encourage a young person. You don't even need to be a parent to encourage a young person. If you have a cousin or a brother or a sister or a friend's child that you just knew maybe this is something they want to work on or this is something they want to do, just try to encourage them and push them, especially the girl child, because the girl child really needs a lot of
Exactly.
empowerment in this day and age. So thank you so much, Christiana. And my next question for you, when it comes to renewable energy, you're actually tackling the problem of climate change. So, for young people who maybe want to venture into this industry, what advice would you give to them to start? Because it's not something that, unless maybe you are able to get practical training, you may be able to do. But for those who don't even have the resources at all, what advice would you give to them?
Okay, there are two ways to go into, or two ways that I've observed to go into this sector that I work in. I went in through mentorship, which is training, and some people could go into this sector through sales, basically sales. So it's okay, mentorship, sales, or you yourself being someone that likes to go to volunteering opportunities. Then you might find yourself one way or the other stumbling upon events that talk about renewable energy, and then you go into the policy aspect, you go into the political aspect of it. So there are different ways. Thank God for digital technology. 2025, what a time to be alive. You have AI, you have things to open your mind just by clicking a prompt on your phone. So there are several opportunities, but if you want to start with something a bit more practical, or you want to get your hands dirty, you go for trainings that talk about, they'll take you straight from the scratch of it, even if you don't have any knowledge on technology. Remember, I started when I was 16. I was a science student, right or right, but it is not limited to only science students. So it's an open industry because remember, it's a new market. No matter how we think, oh, everyone is using solar, you do not have any idea how things will be if everyone starts using solar. No, not everyone is using solar in this country. Not everyone. Not everyone is using a standardized solar energy system in their homes. Even if you just go around and you see a little bit of panels, one or two. So the market is still very big. The sea is still very wide. Do you want to enter through sales? Do you want to enter through environmental, social, and governance through volunteering, or do you want to enter through storytelling and then you do documentaries about the industry? You know, there are several ways to go into this, but it's not just about wanting to be in the sector. It's about the mindset you're walking into the sector with. If you want to make money, please just go and sell. You will sell, don't worry. Trust me, you will find customers. But if you want to talk about the policy and the political aspect, that is when you have to do the work of research. You have to do the work of networking. So are you ready to travel? To those of you that are not ready to travel, I'm going to advise you, please be open-minded. Leave your house. Nobody will find you there. Opportunities will not find you there. So if you want to take on opportunities, I need to know that the road it's toll free. You just move and go to places that opportunities are. You will see opportunities there. This is Q4, the most volatile time of the year. If you know how many solar energy conferences have happened between Lagos and Abuja and other locations in the country, that is when you understand that if you are not searching for opportunities, opportunities will not find you. So you need to put more effort in searching for opportunities in this industry if you want to go into renewable energy starting in Nigeria.
Thank you very much for sharing, Christiana. And I think my next
Yeah.
question for you would be looking into what your work entails, because I mean you carry many hats, yeah, into entrepreneurship, yeah, into the nitty-gritty of the policies itself, you're into even the installments of these energy into these communities, and then into the teaching aspects. And I know that when you started, even though you're almost done with school, you also did it while balancing being in school, balancing traveling, and so many other things. And for a lot of young people, there's always this problem of balance. Where do I have the time to do any of these things? How do I even begin? So, what advice would you give to any young person who maybe wants to start, but when it comes to the balance of things, it's just something that they don't think is feasible? What advice would you give to them?
Okay, so I need you to know that I was running my business while in school. So I did the entire school round while doing the business. You would find chance to something, you would give space, chance to something that you're interested in. Trust me. You don't have to, and I say, oh, you travel, and then don't take it the wrong way. But if you don't have the opportunity to travel, you have the opportunity to see the world through your phone. So if you can, I've spent 23 years of my life in this same state I was born in, but I have traveled beyond then. But when, even on the days I don't travel, I see the world through my phone. Take on online volunteering opportunities, my dear. It's like water. United Nations volunteering opportunities open. There are so many climate change foundation that you can join. You can start doing a lot of things with your phone. Your phone. There are so many opportunities out there. That is why we have remote works. If there are no online opportunities, you will not have remote workers. Same as foundations, everything has been digitized. I did not have a physical office for my business up until last year. And even I am not currently in that office because it's at home and then I'm in school. So you see, I've been doing Primevolts on air, moving everywhere because I was not settled because I was a student and I'm a student. So you see, you have to make it work. You have to make it work with your time. It's your time for a reason. I'm thinking of some students that school in private school. you have to make it work online. If you are really keen on being part of a movement as serious as this, because it is a serious movement, then you can take opportunities from the ends of the earth that you're in. There is opportunity everywhere once you have a digital phone. So please take the opportunity. Search online. Your algorithm is your friend. Like I said, AI is your friend. Once you tell Instagram you're looking for one thing, you will see 10. And you see 10 more. And the more you like, save, share, apply, you just start seeing that doors are beginning to open one way or the other. I'm beginning to get a hang of this. You find yourself having conversations in these spaces more and more and more. And then you find yourself one day fully embedded in a system that you always wanted to be a part of. Now ask yourself, if you did not take that step, will this be your future? So, yeah, you should take that opportunity today. And might I add, to just add it as a cherry on top on taking opportunities online, the Anzisha Foundation, the Anzisha Prize Program with MasterCard Foundation, one of the biggest awards for African young entrepreneurs. 6 months into starting my business, I applied online. I saw it on Instagram. I was using Instagram as my tool for search for opportunities. I saw it on Instagram. I applied. I got in. And it has just been a skyrocket upwards from then on. So take the opportunity today.
Wow. Christianah, it's been so lovely having you here. I'm sure that everyone who is going to listen, they have learned so much and so inspired by you and the amazing work that you are doing. And I think my last question for you, because as you know, this episode will be out in 2026. So looking into the future, what can we expect to see from Primevolts? What's next? What can we expect to hear from you?
I am most excited about my most recent journey. I am going to be leading my team to power 3 communities in the Niger Delta, Ondo State, here, where I was born, and then electrifying communities that have been left in the dark. So it's going to be one of those riverine communities there, and we'll be setting up a mini grid to help this economy breathe for the first time. So this town, they have no power. There is no pole, and petrol generators are so expensive. You have to boat. I don't mean boat, I mean boat. So they have to do all that movement just to charge their phones, and then it's so stressful. And then the worst part of it is they don't have a hospital because no one is going to come this far and not get power supply to do anything. So that is the case in this case. That is what I'm currently working on. Been seeking partnerships, been doing promotional contents, be attending accelerator programs to raise funds. So my dear partner, my dear future technical partner or financial partner, if you're here and you can hear me, I need money. You can come and join us. We need your support. So that is what I've been working on. I look forward to 2026 because I have more interesting projects to work on.
All right, all right. Christianah, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure having you. It's always so fun speaking with you. You're such a lively person and you just radiate so much energy, which I love. Thank you so much for joining the show today. We'll be linking below how to support Christianah. So make sure you follow her on Instagram. On where else can we find you? Where can we find you on social media?
Oh, you will find me everywhere because I'm everywhere. I try to be everywhere. You find me on Facebook at Christianah Madu. You find me on Instagram as Christianah Madu. You'll find me on TikTok at Fechi Madu. You find me on LinkedIn at Christianah Fechi Madu. Anywhere you see Christianah Madu, I am the one. Don't worry. You will see me. You will just recognize me immediately. So please join my platform, help me push this narrative. Let's create an inclusive future for Africa. Thank you.
Thank you. And also make sure you follow Primevolts on social media too. Very, very important. So we'll
Oh,
be
yes. Oh, yes. And follow Primevolts, please. Primevolts Solar. It's that simple. Primevolts Solar. Everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. Primevolts Solar. Thank you.
Yes, 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 yes. Thank you so much, Christiana, for joining me today. And thank you so much for everyone for listening and tuning into today's episode. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Christiana, you're officially our final guest for this season. So thank you so much for joining. Thank you so, so much.
Yay!
Yes,
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here.
yes. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much, everyone. And we will see you in the next episode. Goodbye.
All right. Bye.
Bye.